US and Israel launch attack on Iran as US President Donald Trump confirms major combat operations are underway. European leaders describe developments in Iran as concerning, urging all sides to avoid steps that could inflame tensions after US and Israel attacked Iran on Saturday. Israel and the US launched coordinated strikes on Iran on Saturday in what Israel's defense minister called a preemptive strike and US President Donald Trump described as major combat operations.
A short time ago, the United States military began major combat operations in Iran. Our objective is to defend the American people by eliminating imminent threats from the Iranian regime, a vicious group of very hard, terrible people. Its menacing activities directly endanger the United States, our troops, our bases overseas, and our allies throughout the world.
According to a statement from Israel's defense ministry, the attack was carried out, quote, to remove threats, end of quote. The statement added that the special and permanent state of emergency has been declared across Israel in anticipation of retaliatory strikes. According to reports, the first apparent strike happened near the offices of Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. Some media reports, however, claimed the Iranian leader was sheltering in an undisclosed location and was not in Tehran at the time of the strikes. A cloud of smoke was seen rising from the city's downtown, and Iranian media reported explosions have been heard in 5 cities across the Islamic Republic. The attacks come as tensions in the region have been high as Washington and Tehran try to reach an agreement on a deal to limit Iran's nuclear activities. European leaders reacted with alarm to news of the United States and Israel's joint military strikes on Iran on Saturday, operations that the Pentagon has referred to as Operation Epic Fury. A joint statement from the European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen and European Council President Antonio Costa called the development greatly concerning. The statement urged all sides to avoid steps that could further inflame tensions. The EU's chief diplomat, Kaja Kallas, struck a somewhat measured tone, characterizing the situation as perilous. The remarks came just hours after the US and Israel launched large-scale strikes across Iran, triggering a response from Tehran that has seen US bases in the Middle East attacked. Last month, the EU bloc took fresh sanctions against members of the Iranian regime after thousands were killed in the regime's recent crackdown on protesters.
The first wave of Iranian missile attacks targeting U.S. interests in the region have been felt here in Doha, just across the Gulf from Iran, as well as several countries across the Gulf region. This comes after coordinated attacks from the U.S. and Israel targeting several sites in Iran. In response, Tehran said its retaliation would be crushing. The Qatar news agency reports multiple explosions on U.S. bases in Qatar, Bahrain, Kuwait, and the UAE, indicating a dramatic escalation that signals this conflict has ripened widely. Also, Qatar's Ministry of Defense says its military intercepted and shot down several missiles before they entered its airspace. The ministry is reiterating that the security situation is stable and calm and warning citizens to shelter in place until further notice. Adil Halim, Euronews, Doha.
Joint US and Israeli strikes on Iran have triggered a massive disruption to international travel, with airspaces across the Middle East closed this Saturday. Regional giants including Qatar Airways, Emirates and Etihad have cancelled services, while Kuwait has indefinitely halted all flights to Iran. The escalation has forced carriers to reroute planes mid-flight as countries from Israel to the UAE shut down their skies for security. In Europe, major airlines including Lufthansa, British Airways and Air France have suspended all flights to the region, some until 2nd of March and some until 7th of March. Virgin Atlantic confirmed it is now avoiding Iraqi airspace entirely, while Turkish Airlines has cancelled all services to the Gulf and Levant through the weekend. Across Asia, Air India and several Russian carriers are also bypassing the affected zones to ensure passenger safety. With many suspensions lasting into next week, travelers are being urged to check their flight status online as the situation continues to evolve.